Hi there! Seems like it was just yesterday since I posted a video. Anyway, this is not a really competitive battle because it's probably one of the most hacks-filled battles I've had in a while, but it'd be kind of interesting just to see the effect of hacks on the outcome of a match. Anyway, he leads with the Gyarados for some reason, and I'm still using that team with the Choice Man Azolf, so I'm going to U-turn out. In hindsight, maybe Explosion wouldn't be a bad choice either, because I don't exactly have a 100% solid switch in to Gyarados, and I go into Flygon because I have Thunder Punch and it can outspeed him, and I was fortunate enough to switch into a Thunder Wave, so good thing nothing important got paralyzed. Anyway, I U-turn out of a Blissey, actually, and I'm really not sure why he sent that in, because, I mean, Blissey, it has a ton of HP, but it has no business switching into physical attacks of any kind, even weak ones like Flygon's U-turn. So anyway, I go back into Azelf because I do have Explosion on this thing, and I was planning to just explode, except he switches to a Skarmory, and I don't think it's quite going to KO, but it is still going to do a lot of damage because Explosion halves the opponent's defense, and I am Choice Band. So yeah, it does a lot of damage. Almost gets the KO, but not quite. And now I go into Heatran to finish him off, and I actually miss the Fire Blast, and he gets off the roost, and I'm like, ah! Because now I'm going to have to deal with Skarmory, and that's really annoying, because he also has Gyarados, and it's actually a pretty effective Stall Core. So I go for a second Fire Blast, and he goes back into Blissey at this point, so I guess he was done taking risks. I'm really not sure if I need to predict much or just like play down to his level. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. I'm just trying to get a feel for his level of skill, and I don't think it's like extremely high, although that might be an overstatement anyway. Okay, so now I go back into Kingdra on his Gyarados, and he gets off the taunt, so I'm not really going to be able to do much with Kingdra, and I double switch to Flygon on the Thunder Wave so I can get off a Thunder Punch. And he actually doesn't switch at this point, which is good, because I'm going to be able to get off that Thunder Punch, and that will do a lot of damage to Gyarados due to the quad effective attack. And he goes for an Ice Fang for some reason and misses, which is really good for me, but I'm really not sure why he's carrying Ice Fang, because there's definitely better options for Gyarados to have. And I would go for another Thunder Punch, and now he's an Electivire, and I don't know, I mean, I feel like beginners always use the same stuff, like Skarmory and Gyarados plus Electivire combo. And I go into Heatran on the Ice Punch, but get frozen, so that's really annoying, actually. And now he goes into an Infernape, and I don't really have much to deal with that, so I'm just going to go into Flygon, because I don't have a solid switch into an Infernape at the moment, I think. And I go into Flygon as he switches to Skarmory, so really not much I can do. I don't have Fire Blast because I have Thunder Punch, and I'm just going to U-turn out of Skarmory and go into Gengar. And I went for a Focus Blast in case he went for Blissey, but yeah, he actually stayed in and roosted. I mean, Focus Blast probably would have KO'd anyway, but I'm just going to use Thunderbolt now because he's at full health, and it's kind of an unexpected move on Gengar because most people are running Sub-Splits. But honestly, I'm a little bit tired of Sub-Split, and this is actually my new favorite Gengar set. And he stays in and goes for the Brave Bird, and that's going to do a pretty good amount of damage to Gengar, despite the fact that Skarmory doesn't have that high of an attack. Because, you know, Gengar's really frail, and that's still a 120 BP stab move. Now he goes into Electivire again, and I'm going to go into Flygon. For some reason, I felt that it was Scarfed, and he goes for an Ice Punch, so I guess that's a pretty good prediction. Although, I probably shouldn't have switched at all, because Gengar was at such low health that it really would have been KO'd by any one of his attacks. And I'm not really sure what gave me the hint, but I just go into Kingdra to scout it, and yeah, he actually seems to be locked into Ice Punch. So really, like, Scarfed Electivire? What is this? I don't even... Okay, anyway, I'm just going to start stat boosting, because it doesn't seem like he has anything strong enough to do much damage to Kingdra. And he switches in Blissey, and I know he might have a status inducing ailment, but I'm just going to keep stat boosting because this is a chest arrest variant of Kingdra, so I'm really not worried. And I'm going to actually go for another waterfall, or first waterfall, because, I don't know, I think I was a little bit paranoid about if he had Thunder Wave, then I might get Parahaxed, so I didn't want to risk that. And I get the Flinch Hacks here, which is pretty annoying, but I mean, I think I at least deserve it after the freeze. Okay, so I'm going to 2-hit KO Blissey, and the rest of this game is basically sweeping with Kingdra, because I was a little worried that I would end up losing to hacks, but it turns out that I just got in a couple of stat boosts with Kingdra, and he really wasn't prepared to deal with this because he doesn't have anything left that can stop Kingdra after this. So yeah, I'm going to outspeed Electivire because I'm at +2. Just to risk, Kindra's EVs are really fine-tuned for effectiveness, so they actually are designed to outspeed Scarf Flygon and Scarf Jirachi by 1 point after 2 Dragon Dances, so they'll definitely outspeed Electivire because it has a lower base speed than either of those two Revenge Killers. Now he goes into a Tyranitar. I'm not really sure what set it is, but it doesn't matter even if that was Scarf 2, because Waterfall at +2 is definitely going to KO. And the Sandstorm is wearing me down a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because I definitely have enough health to survive and finish him off with a sweep. And his last Pokemon is Infernape because switching into Stealth Rock killed off his Gyarados, so I'm just going to finish him off with one more Waterfall, and that will end the game 4-0 in my favor. So overall, good game. Turns out the hacks wasn't too important in the long run.